Hello, hello. It's Cancer's turn for your reading for the month of August. Hope you all are doing well. Let's see what kind of messages for us for the month of August for Cancer. Shuffle the cards a few more times. Okay, 2 more shuffles just to make sure. Alright, first card on the deck, you have the Three of Cups. So this card is basically about friendship, partnership. Maybe there's a celebration going on in August. Maybe you're going to feel more better than what you have been for the past months or so. So I feel like this is a good indication that maybe something good is coming. Maybe something is balancing out in the month of August for you guys. Next card is the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like with the Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, is all about using everything you have. Because she's holding a pentacle, which could be, holding yourself, because she's kind of like sad in this picture. I feel like it's like for a lot of us, we've been feeling like, discomfort, feeling like we're not truly ourselves. And I feel like this card is an indication, take value of yourself. Take responsibility of yourself. Also, too, a lot of you have been really down, I feel like, when it comes to not being heard, not being valued, not being maybe respected in some way, or like maybe you feel like something was taken away from you in some way. But I feel like it's getting back into like grounding yourself, seeing yourself for truly what it is, and knowing that you are worth value, whether people may see it or not. I feel like with the Three of Cups here, it's indicating, people aren't always going to value you. People aren't always going to celebrate you. But I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles here, it's an indication, if people aren't going to do it for you, you take responsibility for yourself and what you can do in a situation, whatever that is. The Chariot card. So it's an indication, I feel like, for the month of August, you'll start feeling back into your element. But we're kind of in that Leo energy already. But I feel like in some way, things are going to turn around. Things are going to move forward. We got this. So it's all about perception of what you want to create in your life. Also, too, some of you could be pregnant. You could be also taking in the Queen of Pentacle energy, trying to create something out of your life with what you have. And I feel like it's being grateful for what you have, whether that's relationships, friendships, but also taking ownership for your life in the direction that you want things to go. And I feel like the Chariot is a reminder of that, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's by yourself, taking full ownership. You have the two dogs here, or people, the yin and the yang, taking balance for yourself and ownership of your life again. And then you have the Knight of Swords. So this is fast forward movement. The Chariot is about direction, but also too, this could be energy coming in for you. Maybe you're starting to feel like this, where you have control over, your resources, your stability, your relationships. And I feel like things are going to balance out, which is a good thing, because a lot of us have been out of whack. So 6 of Swords. So this is coming into a place of you're walking away from something. I feel like, whether it's a situation that didn't serve you. The swords are all about our thoughts, all about things that have been weighing us down. You know, I feel like these two people are riding in the boat, so they're trying to go through, you know, maybe a hard situation when it comes to these swords being our thoughts, our perception, maybe everything that we want. Um, in order for things to get cleared up, we need to remove these things so we can proceed and move forward. Because I feel like there's a lot of forward movement, whether, you know, it's yourself, whether it's your relationship. I just feel like you got to make the effort to try to figure out what it is that you can let go of so you can move forward. And I feel like there have been a lot of blocks, a lot of things preventing you from moving forward, whether that's something within yourself, the capacity to move forward, or whether that's, you know, there's things within people that are preventing you from moving forward. I feel like once you get centered with yourself, once you maybe get alone with yourself and really start thinking out how I can move the way that I want, how can I proceed forward, where I can start feeling like I'm moving, whether it's doing simple tasks day to day, whether it's trying to, you know, get your body moving, whether it's exercising, whether it's something. Once we start getting the flow back and doing like productive things, then we can sit alone with ourselves and think it through, you know, how we want to plan. Because I feel like a lot of us have been sitting on this idea of certain things that we want to achieve, whether it's in our relationship, our work, our career. And I just feel like we've had to sit in this waiting period because we had to release things, I feel like. So I feel like feeling stuck and feeling stagnant may be something that some of you have been feeling, whether it's something that you've been trying to work towards, when it's stability within yourself. But I think it's also stability within people that you're trying to work, a third-party situation possibly, that you're trying to work the means behind all this stuff when it comes to balancing out the scales. But I feel like with the Knight of Swords, it's taking full charge of the situation of your life, whether that's family, friends, whether it's co-workers, anything, you name it. I just feel like taking action. I feel like things are starting to move forward, but there may be some things that are weighing you down so you can move forward. So I just feel like you have to get alone with yourself and try to reason out, you know, be true to yourself, most importantly. And then you have the Seven of Swords in reverse. So I feel like that is all about deception, trickery. Maybe you felt this energy around you for some time where maybe someone manipulated you, maybe you saw someone manipulated, or something that was toxic in some way. And I feel like you're releasing that burden of not owning this, not realizing, you know, this could have been something around you, people that you were dealing with, something wasn't clear, something got off course, something that you had to carry on your own and you were left to your own devices, I feel like, in some way. Not that it was a bad thing. I feel like this energy is here to remind you that you are in full control of your life, whether it seems like people are trying to control you, whether, you know, your finances aren't the way they should be, the way you want them to. And I feel like it's an indication that you're releasing this burden, this huge ass burden that, you know, maybe you lied to yourself about and you didn't see it clearly. And I feel like you're starting to see things more clearly, whether it has to do with yourself, something that you need to see for yourself, something about, you know, work, finances, home life, career, whatever. You know, if we're not clear on what it is true and what's right in our life, you know, we're going to be tied up in this illusion that things are okay. But I just feel like you have to be real with yourself to remove these blocks so you can move forward. And then Eight of Swords. So I feel like I said, a lot of you have been trapped. A lot of you felt like you couldn't move forward on something because maybe you got tied up into something that was toxic. Maybe it's your way of thinking. Maybe it's your perception, where you you lowered yourself, or you lowered your standards, because I feel like there is nothing you can do in a situation for some time. And I feel like in August, things are going to balance it out. It's just being real with yourself that you are more powerful than you really think. And these swords, or these thoughts, or these deceptive things that are tying you or weighing you down, you have full access and control of these situations. Whether it's you blocking yourself, whether it's you sabotaging yourself, a lot of it starts in the ego, and a lot of it starts in the mind. I think that when we think a certain way, we start having situations happen to us, and we realize, I don't have control, or I don't have access to something.
Hey
But
Sean,
we
can I
do.
use the other Xbox 360 controller?
Anyways, I feel like a lot of the Two of Swords has to do with, you know, our own self sabotage, our own self defeats, our own, we get in that mentality sometimes, I feel like, where we self sabotage things, and we don't really see things for what they are. And I think sometimes we lower ourselves because we feel like, in order to feel comfortable, even though it's painful, sometimes we have to trap ourselves. And we're trapping our own selves when we do that to ourselves, and we don't give credit to ourselves that, we're not perfect at this, even though sometimes it feels like we feel like we deserve certain things. But I feel like once we unstuck ourselves and really see things for what they are, that we're the ones who love to play the victim. We're the ones who, like to see ourselves as this lower state of being, when we have full control to release these things that are hindering our growth, that aren't moving us forward. And I feel like it's being real with yourself, most importantly. Let's see if I can get clarifiers of just something to help us throughout the month of August. What other messages for Cancers do they need to see through these situations? Okay. So we have the Ace of Pentacles here and the Four of Cups. So I feel like this is all about, we have opportunities presenting ourselves, especially maybe in this month, for us to take on. But I feel like if we look too much closely into the negativity, if we look too much into maybe the past, maybe things that didn't serve us in the past, it blocks us from accepting opportunity. So I feel like there's a lot of options here for you, Cancers, a lot of things you can go towards, but I feel like you are stopping yourself and stopping the growth of things happening for you, good things, if we're looking at these cups that aren't fulfilling us in some way, or these, burdens that aren't ours to carry. And I feel like if you focus on those too much, you'll stop your growth from experiencing these opportunities that are meant for you. And I feel like a lot of it is trapping ourselves. It's not anybody else's fault that things go wrong or we don't have control. I think it's looking at it from a different perspective, that there's millions of opportunities for us, whether we feel like we're isolated from the world around us. There's many things we can do. It's just our perception needs to change. So I hope that resonated with one of you, and I wish you luck for this upcoming month of August. Bye-bye.